Hello, I'm back to troll myself. It's been about 3 months since I last checked in with my 25 and 25, and I want to see how much progress I have made, if any, and I have. I know I've made progress. So let's just jump right into it. However, after this update, I feel like my progress may not be as impressive as it is in my head. I've got my 25 and 25 list pulled up in front of me, and I will put it here throughout the video so you guys can play along with me and see how well I did. But this is going to be the first thing that we're working with. This list was from the end of June. As you can tell, I had only read 5 books from the beginning of the year, 6 months into the year. Not great. It's not the best percentage. I'm not great at math, but even I know that's not good. However, since the end of July, I have made some progress, and the first one was finishing Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This one ended on kind of a cliffhanger, and I really want to go ahead and get into Assassin's Quest because I need to know how things are going to wrap up for Fitz, how things are going to wrap up in the entire kingdom. And this also will wrap up the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in the Robin Hobb universe, the Realm of the Elderlings. Once I finish this series, because I've already completed the Live Ship Trader series, me and my friends will then be able to move on together for the next trilogy in the series, which I believe is the Tawny Man. And it's looking like we may not be able to get to that one this year. It'll probably have to wait until 2026. But either way, that's fine. I'm hoping I can get to Assassin's Quest in maybe November at the latest. Just thinking about the ending of Royal Assassin, so much happened in the latter half of the book that I'm really excited to find out what happens to Fitz and how all of the storyline is going to get wrapped up, because some people need to get karma, okay? Some people need to get hit with karma really bad. Me knowing what's going on as the reader, and obviously Fitz knows the little sneaky things that are going on that shouldn't be going on. There's so many things happening. I can't wait to see how this storyline wraps up. We have the entire book. I feel like there's not enough time, and I know that sounds really goofy because it's the final book in the trilogy. In my head, I'm going, there's not enough time. How are we going to wrap this up? We have an entire book, and these books are not short, so there's plenty of time to find out how we're going to wrap it up, who's going to get got, and is Fitz going to be okay? Is Fitz going to triumph in the end? I hope so. There's a lot, and also I want to know how it's going to wrap up, because it's gonna tie in with the Tawny Man trilogy. And I'm interested to see how it's gonna end there to be able to pick up in the next trilogy. By November at the latest is when I'll start reading this one, but talking about it makes me want to pick it up today. I finally got around to starting and finishing Jade City by Fonda Lee. Jade City is another buddy read because I clearly didn't have enough buddy reads and I needed to add more. And this one was going to be a buddy read with my friend Keisha, and I forget why I started this. I think I was going to use it for a prompt for another video, and that one's just kind of been pushed to the side for now. But I am glad that I didn't push Jade City to the side, because oh my god, was this book so damn good. I figured I would have a good time because me and Keisha tend to have the same type of reading preferences. I know Keisha really enjoyed Jade City, and I had the best time. It does start off a little bit slow, but even that though, I don't think it's a bad kind of slow, because there's a lot to set up, a lot of different things to introduce, but you also have a lot of characters to introduce. For me, it works. And I flew through Jade City. I thought this would take me longer than it did, but I couldn't put it down. And I really want to start Jade War, but I made a promise to myself that I would start Assassin's Quest before I started Jade War, so that way I could finish one trilogy and then move on to the next one. But this one was 10 out of 10. I can't wait to start Jade War, and I'm hoping that maybe I can at least get through Jade War by the end of the year as well. This next one is a 2-for-1 because not only did I finish the Dungeon Anarchist cookbook, but I also finished The Gate of the Feral Gods, both by Matt Dinniman. Dungeon Anarchist cookbook, I think I was currently reading that one at the end of July. I was able to slowly work my way through that when I would clean the house or go on a walk, something like that. And then I went ahead and started Gate of the Feral Gods, and I was really enjoying it. So I got through that one pretty quick. It also helped to motivate me to get out and go on a walk on a more regular basis. I've already started Butcher's Masquerade. I'm having a really good time. I think I could finish it. I'm filming this at the end of September, but I do have a couple of races coming up in the beginning of October, one of which will be a very long race. I do think I'll be able to finish the Butcher's Masquerade at least a couple of these races, and then maybe start the Bedlam Bride after that. So I'm making progress. I don't think I'll get through the rest of the series this year. I think book 8 is coming out fairly soon, but that'll just give me something to look forward to after I finish the rest of these. We'll just kind of draw out the Dungeon Crawler Carl series a little bit longer. I also wanted to go over the books that I'm going to be reading in the upcoming months. Assassin's Quest, I would like to get to this at least by the end of November. And then Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Allie is doing 24-hour reading sprints over on her Twitch in October, and that is the book that has been chosen for this round of 24-hour sprints. So I've got my copy, and that'll be read this upcoming month. Then the final 3 books of the Throne of Glass series. Originally, the Throne of Glass was a buddy read for quite a few of us, and I think it just fell to the wayside for most of us. I kept up with it for the first half of the year, but when the summer hit, I don't know what happened. There was a lot going on, and then it was in August, I'll get back to it. And then it became in September, I'll get back to it. Well, it's the end of September and I have not gotten back to it. So I think what I'm going to do is have these last 3 books. I'm going to do a little project with them so I can wrap up the series, because as I've said in the past, I've started Tower of Dawn a few years ago and did a soft DNF, but I'm going to try a tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. And then hopefully I can get through those and be able to finish Kingdom of Ash, and that will wrap up the Throne of Glass series, because it was a half reread, and then the last 2 books, Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash, were going to be new to me. And I guess technically like at least half of Tower of Dawn, because I never finished it. I would like to wrap up this series, especially since I did start it already and got through a majority of the books this year. I'm hoping I can maybe get to those in November. I just came up with the idea for the project today before I filmed this, but I'm not quite sure where I'm going to fit it in yet. So overall, it's 9 out of 25. That's not terrible. I added 4 more books over the course of the last 3 months, and I do have at least one that's going to be done in the month of October, and then Assassin's Quest in the next couple of months. I'm not going to count those because technically they haven't been read yet, but it is a little bit of a bummer that I wasn't even able to start the Cruel Prince series, because I have the book on Libby on hold, and it's come through as ready to check out for like 3 or 4 times already, but every time that it's come through, I just haven't had the time to read it, so I go ahead and send it off for the next person. It's a little bit of a bummer, because originally I was hoping to read the entire series this year, and it's not looking like that at this moment. As for the other ones, I'm hoping that I can at least start Jade War. I don't see myself getting to Jade Legacy this year, but that's okay. Storm and Siege, Ruin and Rising may or may not happen. Again, the Cruel Prince series, it might end up getting kicked to next year. The last couple Dungeon Crawler Carl books, I might be able to start Bedlam Bride. Not sure about this Inevitable Ruin. Might start it by the end of this year, but it may not be finished until next. And then Night Country, honestly, I just kind of threw that one on because that would complete the duology. It's only 2 books, and I've had that one for a couple of years now, so it's kind of silly that I haven't read it. And that may just be a quick read for me in the upcoming months as well, maybe November or December. I don't really think I'm going to hit all of my books in 25 and 25, but we're gonna try to get through the ones that we can. I didn't put as much thought into this, I don't think, as I could have, because there were a couple of these that I really did want to read. I did want to finish the Farseer trilogy, the Live Ship Trader trilogy. finishing the Throne of Glass series, as well as Dungeon Crawler Carl, because I got really big into that at the start of the year. But overall, there were some on here that I was just kind of throwing onto the list because, oh, that would be fun to do. That would be fun to read. So maybe this upcoming year, I take a little bit more time with my what will be 26 and 26. So that way I can put books on there that I know for sure that I actually want to read. And that's it for this video. Let me know if you've read any of the books I have on my 25 and 25 at all this year. And let me know how you're doing in your 25 and 25. Or if you have a 12 and 12, let me know how that's going. Now I know to put a little more thought into it and not just throw books on the list that I think might be fun. I'll know a little bit better going into 2026, which is coming up really fast. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.